Hi, it's Christine here with your Red Hot Fit Tip of the Week, and as you can see, I'm at the bar, and people often ask, what's involved in a bar class? Bar classes can be based in Pilates, yoga, fitness, and most commonly ballet, because that's what we use in ballet class, right? And if you've never taken a ballet, no worries, you don't necessarily need any kind of dance background in bar classes. In Red Hot Barre Fitness classes, you don't need any ballet background at all. We teach you the fundamentals in the class so you're comfortable using the bar. But in this video, I wanted to give you a little 101 about ballet, just in case you need a refresher from maybe when you grew up taking dance, or maybe you never took a ballet class and you want to understand where these moves come from and why we do them. So I'm gonna give you just a little background in this video here. So the first thing I always start out with is stance, because in most fitness classes, we're in a parallel stance. Our hips are over top of our knees and our toes when we do most movements. But in bar classes, we have to be in something called turnout. And don't worry, you're not gonna be expected to have this ballerina turnout with the toes to the side. In fact, it's probably not likely. It takes years and years of training to get that kind of turnout, and a lot of it is genetic as well. So I just want you to focus on having a turnout that's right for your body, and that comes from externally rotating the legs at the hip. Some people just think, oh, I'm just gonna turn my toes out, but in fact, that's not really gonna give you the turnout that you want that's stemming from that whole leg turning out. That's gonna actually cause you injury, because as you bend the knees in some of the movements, the knees are no longer tracking over the toes. They're just gonna cause pain and discomfort in the knees. So we want you to be comfortable, and we want the workout to be effective. So externally rotating the leg at the hip is gonna give you a good turnout. And again, for most adults, you're going to have a turnout that looks like a V, and that's fine. So now I'm gonna talk about positions, because in ballet, if you've ever heard of people talk about first position, second position, there's actually 5 positions, but in most bar classes, we're only gonna focus on the first 2. So first position is what I'm in right now. The heels are together, the toes are pointed out because we're in turnout, and this is just first position. You're zipped up through the midline, meaning the heels are touching, the inner thighs, everything is zipped up, and you're nice and lifted. To open up into second position, you just take the feet apart, and your weight is between each leg. So you're not shifted onto one side, your weight is evenly distributed. So we do a lot of exercises in first and second position. It's very similar to a narrow stance when you're doing group exercise to a wider stance, say you do a squat, something along those lines. So just think of that first and second position. Again, you probably don't need to remember all this, but it's good to know. The final thing I want to share with you are 2 exercises that are fundamentals in a ballet class, is a releve and a plie. And a releve just means you're lifting the body up. So you roll up onto the balls of the feet. This is why we don't wear shoes, right? Because we want to actually feel the arch in the foot lift up, and we want to also use all the muscles in the feet, and that includes the toes. So in a traditional ballet class, you may wear a ballet slipper. That kind of binds all your toes together. In a bar class, I encourage you to go barefoot or wear what I'm wearing, a studio wrap, so that way you can separate the toes and really use all the muscles, and that way you're not rolling in or out on those ankles. You want to think about lifting straight up, even if it means not going as high. And sometimes we roll up onto one side and keeping the other leg down, so the releve may only be on one side at a time, and it may also could be combined with what we call a plie, and that's just a bend of the knees. So when we do a plie in ballet, we just bend our knees and lift up. And you want to be thinking about all the muscles in the leg and not just kind of bouncing down and up. As you lift up, you're zippering those inner thighs up and lifting. And what you may, if you've taken ballet classes, you may be familiar with a demi-plie and a grand plie. Demi-plie is what I just demonstrated. A grand plie would be going all the way down. Oh, I can feel all those joints cracking. And we don't do grand plies in a bar class because, let's face it, we want a fitness workout, and we're not so worried about being prima ballerinas, and we want to protect our joints. So In order to do that, we go midway. So we do plies that are only midway down. Same with in second position, we want to protect those knees. They stay over top of those toes, and we stay protected at all times. So while some things in a ballet class you may remember that you did when you were little, we're not going to do those in a barre fitness class, because we just want to protect your body, make sure that you're still able to do barre classes in years to come, and make sure you get an effective workout. So I hope you like this little tutorial on Ballet 101. We'll have some more tips for you in the future on how to get the most out of your barre fitness class. And if you like this video, make sure to share it with someone that you know that's maybe thinking about taking a barre class but's a little nervous. And we'll see you next week for another Red Hot Fit Tip.